This is Perfect Dark Run Xbox One X. It is indeed enhanced, rating 9 times the pixel count for a 4K resolution, and yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. So I picked this level because it's a bit more of a linear kind of blast and move through level, while not really necessarily spoiling any of the narrative elements of the game. So in this, you are Joanna Dark. You are moving through a series of missions in solo play in order to do objectives for your bosses. You're kind of, I guess you could say, a bit of a spy to a degree. And you have various goals on each mission, depending on what the particular mission is. And you work through it blasting enemies, completing objectives, and generally completing goals. So in the game, you actually are not able to do certain things, like you're not supposed to shoot scientists, you can't kill all enemies because some of them are actually important for the plot, and you could actually fail the mission. So it's quite interesting. So this is a remastering of the original game. It's got improved visuals. It can be played through Rare Replay if you have that, or as a standalone option. So it's also really neat because it's got not only a single player sort of campaign, there are cooperative elements as well, and that also includes some competitive multiplayer. Now you can't really find people online in this game anymore just because it is, it's a 360 release. It's quite old at this point. Now that being said, you can actually compete against bots if you want to enjoy those modes, or you can play with others locally. I mean, if you got a group of friends, you could also experience it with them as well. So the game is actually kind of full of content, and I think it holds up quite well as being a generally great experience. The quality, the look of the models, it's very flashy and very beautiful. In general, the game is incredibly well done. It's very sleek, it moves very fluidly, and it feels just fantastic. I was absolutely shocked going into this and playing the game at this point, just how impressed I was by the visual quality and the flow and the movement of gameplay. It's absolutely stunning and just very, very well done. So we're gonna throw on our night vision for this part because I know what's coming, which I maybe did a little bit too early, and I'm sorry if that's blinding.
Again, girl. You've become quite an annoyance.
Oh no. I should have, yeah. Rather, it's this really glowy thing. Maybe the lights are a bit too hard. But yeah, I think this is a really incredible experience. This might be one of the best FPS titles ever created. It's got such an iconic and interesting character that I'm shocked we haven't seen more efforts with this character moving forward. We haven't seen really, the follow-up that I think we maybe deserve for this game, and it's a little bit disappointing that that is the case, considering this is such a well-done and interesting franchise. So we've completed the objective. Even the cutscenes are kind of cool.
Something I can do for you, old woman.
Return our sapient immediately. You don't know what you're doing.
So yeah, the cutscenes are definitely something of their time. That being said, I do think, that they hold up visually well, despite not really having much motion to the voices or anything like that. Still, they look pretty good. And in general, the visual look of the characters and the faces, which I believe are Rare staff if I'm not mistaken, they look incredibly sharp visually, compared to even stuff from today. I'm kind of really seriously impressed by them. They're really cool and neat. And just generally well done. And that's the game itself. Very, very well done. It may seem like a bit of a an older style of shooter. It's actually really clever in terms of not being something that's straight up linear, while also feeling kind of like a linear title in regards to how you move through it. And I think that's really fascinating. There's also the neat concept that you can kind of play this on the different difficulties, and there's more to the difficulties than just the actual difficulties. As you pick a higher level of challenge, the game actually changes too in regards to the goals you have to do. And I think that's really fascinating. It sort of increases it or increases the experience you have with it. It kind of pushes you to go back and actually play those harder levels once you get better at the game, to really sort of feel the full experience of this. It's also got full leaderboards to compare with others to play, if they've been playing back in the day when this remaster first released, or if they you know, came at a later time to check it out like I am right now. But you get the gist of what I'm saying, is they've got the full kind of focus and, you know, content of a 360 arcade game being pushed into this much higher resolution quality. This is just a absolutely superb release. I'm just quite blown away by it. Oh, you can also, you know, you do fisticuffs and do like beat these guys down, which is not very smart. You get a bunch of different guns. But yeah, it just plays so perfectly well. It looks so good. It's got so many interesting levels. I'm just loving rolling through it and kind of blasting guys away and, you know, seeing all the different like little hidden things in it, doing all the little missions. It's been an absolute blast. And I think the concept is absolutely still today perfect for a game. Having this like sort of badass tech-based spy of the future coming into what I kind of feel is a bit of a like a cyberpunk style society, right? I mean, they obviously fly in on vehicles, but yet these housing areas seem a little bit, you know, our time. And I think they would exist even in the future. It's just really neat, some of the layouts, the levels, the designs, the flow of it, the kind of enemies you face. I like the shooting targeting system, the fact that it's kind of weird that it does a lot of it for you, but I also find that, you know, really kind of interesting and helping with the flow of like the movement in the game. And it does feel natural to, like, you know, this kind of character that is, you know, a bit of a high-tech spy of the future. You do have some different modes and stuff present too, and how you fire away bunches of different guns. I don't think I really picked up anything this particular match, but that's fine. And it's just kind of really generally well done. I'm quite impressed and blown away by the inherent quality of the experience. It's just such a fun game, and I'm in love with the weird lighting system. Like, again, I've kind of mentioned that you see those like the weird lights popping up everywhere. Sometimes it's a little bit blinding, but it's cool. I also like the sense that you can kind of like push things in the environment too. You can kind of shoot at things. There's just like a neat little level of like physics to it that I think is really cool. I think they've done a generally great job in just, like, you know, bringing this back in the day when this did release, but at the same time also enhancing it to make it look significantly better, because this is just so clean, so fluid. The character models, the world layouts, you know, the levels, everything just looks absolutely fantastic. And I'm trying to go at this a bit of a slower pace, if you didn't realize it, because I'm trying to make the level last a little bit longer to fill this time. But yeah, you can actually sort of really speed through this, having a blast, eliminating foes, completing your objectives. You can also take your time. There are some little extra things you can discover along the way. And I think it's just kind of a really interesting tile. Did I clip that guy accidentally? I was just trying to shoot the bottles because I thought it was kind of a cool effect. If you shoot all of them, you actually get an achievement, which is kind of neat. But yeah, they got varied enemies, neatly structured room environments, lots of conflict, lots of mission levels, and then again, the multiplayer pushes that a little bit forward, adds some new things. It's kind of like really hard to dive into in regards to, like, you know, time-wise, but I just think it's such a worthwhile time with such a unique campaign and story structure to it. It's kind of really does feel enticing, and I think we'll maybe, I don't know if I'm pretty sure we're supposed to go in this way. I might not have collected something I needed to, and that's fine, we'll go back. But yeah, it's just, I really did quite enjoy coming in here and playing this recently, because I'm floored by the quality of it, the smoothness, the gameplay mechanics, and just the worlds you get to experience. They do obviously feel, you know, rather aged to a degree, but I'm not too bothered by that. It's still a really stellar time that has such a unique system to it. I can't remember where I was going and blasting people. There's definitely more to this. But yeah, the levels, I hope you've been seeing that they are kind of like a little bit complex in terms of allowing you movement through them to explore unique locations, battle new enemies, and kind of complete your goal how you want to. It is obviously a bit of a linear setup, though with that, you could maybe get a little bit lost in what you're doing and who you have to eliminate. See, there we go. That was the last guy. I guess I missed him somewhere or something. I have no idea. It was weird it went so well the last time. I just played this, like, not even that long ago. Come on, doors open. But yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of flashy. It's kind of fun.
Sir, are you injured?
No, Joanna.